Hi, thanks for tuning into High on Horror. I'm Drew.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
Terrifier came out early in 2018, but was filmed back in 2016, so it's been 4 years since we've seen Art the Clown grace the screen, and 6 years since it was filmed. The world was long overdue for this sequel, and writer-director Damien Leone really took his time with this one and perfected it before he released it. And I feel like he is really honing his craft here and losing himself in his art, pun intended. Art is back with a vengeance, and if you think it got bloody the first time around, you have no idea what you're in for. Hold on to your ass with both hands, baby. We're reviewing Terrifier 2 today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one. Alright, so before we start talking about Terrifier 2, man, you know we got to smoke to get into this. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, first I want to say this is like one of the coolest screeners we've got. Like, definitely one that going in the year we'd be like, oh, if we could get a screener of this, like,
yeah.
This would be top. So
yeah, being Terrifier fans, to think like back when the first one came out, to think, yeah, when that second one comes out, you guys will get an early screening of it. But the thing is, by the time this episode airs, it will have hit theaters.
Yeah.
But we've seen it a couple of days in advance now. We got to see it in advance, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So there will be spoilers on this episode, because we officially have waited till after the film's theatrical release to put this episode out.
But yeah, get into the weeds here. I got us some grape gasoline. This is I mean, I don't know why I keep picking ones. Well, I like orange.
It's a lot of orange on that baby.
But it's like a lot of orange. Light green.
Yeah. It's like ecto cooler green.
Ecto cooler. Anyway, but it's an indica though. Dominant hybrid weed. Well, I guess it's a hybrid. But it was made with grape pie and jet fuel gelato.
Damn.
The effects of grape gasoline are more common than energizing, which is weird because on the sheet here, it says it's more calming, but it's leaning towards the energizing side a lot on that infograph.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
So would we recommend this as a good weed to smoke while watching Terrifier 2?
I mean, I can't tell. We're going to be energized or we're going to be calm. It's saying that it's more calm, so, like, smoke it and find out, really.
Yeah.
And,
smoke it and find out, really. It's just like any other pharmacy. They just have a little bunch of, like, gibberish. May contain, you might not get high, or you might get super high, or you might get tired or you're not, or you might get energy or not, you know, like, depends. Speak to your doctor if you have anal bleeding.
Yeah, basically. If you got anal bleeding from weed, they got something else in there that you need to be concerned about. That's not right. This is always my favorite part is when they describe the flavors. Like it's like a fine wine. Sorry, Josh, I just hit the mic. My bad. You can edit that out or, just make me look like the asshole I am. When terms of flavor, you can expect pungent grape notes with a hint of diesel. Grape gasoline is 21% THC, making it an ideal strain for experienced cannabis consumers. According to the grower, so people growing this is what they'll be saying. This strain can be grown indoors and outdoors. And the dominant terpenes in grape gasoline are mycerin, followed by, I can't pronounce that, caryophyllene, that's wrong, and limonene.
Lemonade? Motherfucker just got lemonade in it.
The original breeder of this strain is Compound Genetics. Wheat strains similar to grape gasoline are Desert Lime, Pancakes, and this one is, I don't know why, it's just a hilarious name. Nigerian Silver.
If we can't pronounce it, maybe we shouldn't smoke it.
I mean, there's a lot of chemicals I can't pronounce.
That's true.
But the main effects are uplifted, euphoric, and energetic. The negatives are, like they always say headaches, and then I always like how all of them pretty much say dry eyes. Yeah. And anxious, so that's not good. Well, I ain't trying to smoke it and get a panic attack.
Not trying to be anxious when you're watching Art the Clown tear shit up. That's for
fucking
sure.
Grape gasoline gonna have you living on the edge. So maybe it is a good one for Terrifier 2.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so Terrifier 2. Let's talk about it. Want to walk us through it?
What do you want to talk about? The movie?
Yeah. That'd be the idea. Oh, you're just prolonging because
I'm trying to make you talk for like 5 more seconds.
Wanted to get that bong
real quick.
Wanted to feel anxious.
Yeah. They gave us the screener just for me to cough all over talking about the movie. Thanks, guys. Terrifier 2 is a 2022 American slasher written and directed by Damien Leone. It stars David Howard Thornton as your friendly neighborhood clown Art, Lauren Lavera as Sienna Shaw, and her brother Elliot Fullman as Jonathan Shaw. And I just wanted to say, there was no fucking around. Like, last year we talked to David, we talked to Fuzz, we talked to Craig, and they're like, no, this movie is going to have a 2+ hour runtime, and there's going to be no letting up. There was times where I'm like, okay, I feel like this is going to just be a little calm period. Nope.
Yeah, man.
Art popped back up. So, 1:28 into the runtime, that's including, like, the credits and everything. Art's already fucking covered in blood.
Yeah.
The back of Art's dome, though. And then he takes a dude's eye and just shoves it back in. So now he's got a new eye and just finishes the kill, takes the dude's brain. I mean, I guess if you got to die, at least, like, you get to become part of Art, right?
Well, I mean, the eye falls back out. He did it more for effect. The way he puts it in, turns and looks at the guy, like, he's like, ta-da! Like, the humor's there, and it really does cut the tension, man, because, boy, does shit get thick.
Yeah. We'll get to shit in a minute here, but Art heads to go do some laundry, and he's just sitting around there in his undies while the laundry goes around.
For all you Art the Clown fangirls out there who have a kink for him, you get a shot of some nudie Art ass in the laundromat.
And Art sees another girl that's kind of dressed like him. She got them Taco Bell shits, though. Like, she was just sitting there, and that shit was just pouring out. But then it seems like it's kind of Art's imagination, like he's talking to himself.
Yeah, it's like it's in his head, yeah.
And he leaves all clean and shit there, like even his face. And I killed a dude who'd been sleeping there, like. And also Art, like, he cleaned up too, which I thought was interesting, because I've seen some of the places he resides, they're not that clean.
I just gotta say, it's really hilarious just seeing Art the Clown walk into a laundromat and just wash his clown suit.
Yeah,
like,
just sitting there with, like, no shirt on.
Some newspaper in his lap, just chilling.
And we see a girl working on her Halloween costume. She's like spray painting the wings, like going into detail, being a real fucking nerd about it. At the dinner table, her little brother tells her mom he wants to dress up as Art, or as they called them, Miles County Clown.
Yeah, Miles County.
Miles County. She asks her mom if she wonders about Jonathan as they're doing the dishes. And then as that's happening, we kind of like cut to Jonathan. He's kind of like looking up the incidents from Terrifier 1. And then we cut the scenes of the two women argue about him being weird. And back again to him like looking shit up. Jonathan still gets his sister to make Art's hat for him. And he seems pretty scared about Art. And I mean, like, fairly. He should be scared of Art. She falls asleep to the Clown Cafe commercial. And then she, like, joins it in her dreams. Are you trying to go there, bro?
I mean, no, I wouldn't go there. But I will say that Jonathan very much like embodies every horror fan who grew up a horror fan, because it's like he wants to be this dude for Halloween, and he acts like he's all into it. But then he's like, all like a second later, he's all like, it's not really real, is it? Like, you know, he's not really, he couldn't really be like, he's terrified of it. But there's a part of him that's like, oh, this is cool. I want to be
like this. As a kid, I wanted to be Michael, but I was terrified of Michael.
That's what I'm saying. So he's like the horror fan, the young horror fan in this film. He kind of mirrors that.
I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, I did too.
And then there's a commercial, you know, in her dream for Art Krispies. Are you going to eat those or no? The Art Krispies?
If they were like pop vinyl cereal, yes. Not the Art Krispies with like roaches and razor blades.
The crickets and razor blades.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
And then Art shows up on the tricycle and rides around. All the kids at the Clown Cafe are cheering.
Which are really like adults dressed like kids.
He gives everyone a gift and then shoots up the whole place with like a Tommy gun. The woman playing guitar gets flamethrowered and just keeps playing.
Dude, I was gonna say, did you ever think you'd see Art the Clown just mowing people down with a Tommy gun, like fucking like Untouchable style?
He does such ridiculous stuff, but it doesn't come off as ridiculous.
It works for some reason. Yeah. I know it really works.
I was like, he's using like an Al Capone Tommy gun. Like, where did he get that?
Right.
Anyway, Art chases Sienna, who in her dreams uses a sword to block the flamethrower. And her outfits, I think it's supposed to be, I don't think it's, unless I missed it, I don't think it's explicitly explained, but I think it's just supposed to be a Valkyrie outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
And she uses a sword in her dream to block the flamethrower, which ends up setting the wings in real life on fire and like burns up her room. So I guess like Art's got some Freddy powers now.
Or she had some powers, either one. But it's like that's when things start to get interesting. You realize that
I was interested to see how it would play out.
This is going beyond just a typical slasher film like the first one was. You realize, oh, something's up with this one. Like this chick just had a dream, and like she woke up to it having like affected her real life. So you're like, okay, so this is going to go a little into the supernatural.
Well, I mean, at the end of Terrifier 1, he shoots himself and comes back to life. So
right, but that's all part
I feel
of
like it was kind of
yeah.
expected that maybe it would go more supernatural.
Agreed.
Here. Her mother literally calls her fucking stupid.
Yeah, man.
And blames her for the blames the candles in Sienna's room for it. And but she claims, she wasn't using them. Sienna investigates her room after, and in the morning at breakfast we get a new cereal, Wacky Jacks. Now those, if they taste like Apple Jacks, I'm in.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But let's go back to, I just wanted to say that the mom, you really sympathize for the mom, man, because like she is, I'm gonna be straight. Look, okay, the mom is a bitch. Okay, she is a bitch, straight up. Like, and it's like there's not a scene where she's not being short with either of her children. Like she's always short, always seems to be irritated. But it's like she's hurting too from her husband dying, from their dad dying. She's hurting too. No one's really there to comfort her, and she's dealing with them. So it's I felt for her because I'm like, even though she's a bitch, I'm like, she's hurting, like, so I like that there was that layer of like sympathy. Even though like she's a bitch, you're still kind of like not totally against her. Like I wasn't hoping or wishing for her to die.
And we end up cutting back to Art with I guess his imaginary friend, maybe. We see him in his, like, I guess kind of like a workshop, and then we see the interview on the TV from Terrifier 1. And Art's just watching it he's just losing it when he's watching her on TV with like that silent laugh. A lot of stuff is hilarious to Art.
A lot of twisted shit.
Yeah. And then he gets mad after they claimed he's dead, and that's when he destroyed the TV. And Jonathan, I guess they're his friends? I mean,
I guess, yeah. They don't really seem like friends, but that's why I'm glad you said that, because I thought too, like, are they really? I mean,
because I was like, he's still hanging around them, so it's probably his friends.
He doesn't even seem to like them.
Yeah. And they're fucking with a dead possum, and Jonathan tells them to, like, stop. His friends lure a girl by telling him that a cat gave birth, and then that freaks him out. And then the principal yells at him, played by Felissa Rose.
Yeah, dude, even I was watching this, I was like, first of all, you see her quickly, so you know she's going to be in the scene, but as soon as she just, what is it she yells, like, boys, or what are you doing, or whatever it is. As soon as she yells, I went, oh shit, and the boys on screen all went, oh shit, like, she really turned on, like, boss mode, you know what I mean? Like, for real, like, you do not want to be yelled at by Felissa Rose.
And Jonathan's still, like, kind of fucked up, and he has to be excused from a test, and Art and his friend are just chilling in the hallway with the fucking dead possum. They end up throwing it at Jonathan, who catches it, and a teacher tries to stop him as he runs out. He's like, nah, I'm gone. She ends up finding the dead possum. This has got to be the episode I've probably said dead possum. There's no one I've ever had to say dead possum.
And you said it a lot, too.
I know. It's a dead possum, folks. Sienna and her friends are they're just eating lunch outside. I guess that's normal for their school.
Yeah.
Sienna has like a panic attack when they talk about Monica Brown from Terrifier 1. And Sienna goes to Joker's Wild, or you remember was the local one, like,
oh yeah,
it's a Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, man, that Jokes are Wild.
Joker's Wild.
That thing stayed in business for a while. I was wondering when it would go down. I think it finally
the Spirit
did.
Halloweens did them in, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But
because their stuff was nice, like it was expensive to buy.
I agree. They did have some nice shit though. But
I got a nice Michael mask from there one time.
They had a pumpkin head mask there. I remember. I never got it, but I always like looked at it. But I was gonna say though, real quick, I did want to say that you had mentioned, like, when he was watching Art was watching the TV, like in the beginning of the first film. I was gonna say this is definitely like an extreme opening / continuation of the first film, and it's not just the gore, it's the fucking sound effects. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you hear the people gurgling on their own blood. It's like it sounds so unsettling. Like, even as over the top as some of the kills can be, like the realism of like some of the acting really makes you just kind of cringe.
Yeah. And homeboy Arch just chilling in the costume shop as well. He lets her slide by though. She's buying stuff, but forgot her bag downstairs. But who came to the rescue, though, and brought her bag up to her?
Didn't even get a thank you, neither.
Didn't even get a thank you. And then we get the meme everyone's seen, him just chilling there with the glasses. But then he, like, tries on a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. The slinky ones had me die, and I was laughing my ass off how he was like shaking his head. He was really David Howard Thornton really turned it on.
That's funny because the next thing I've written down here is I was saying with his facial expressions and stuff, he really shined throughout this entire movie. Yeah. I mean, he did with the first one as well.
As brutal as shit gets in this movie, you can legitimately tell that he is having a good fucking time playing this role. Like, you can tell he is literally a kid in a candy shop.
The part that got me is when he blows the party favor and the guy goes, "Hey, stop it," and he just and then he goes, "If you're gonna put that in your mouth, you got to pay for it." And you see him just like fumble to like take it out.
Yep.
That was like a legit scene. That party favor when he just like blew that and the cashier yelled at him. I just died.
I was just hearing Art's getting yelled at by a cashier. You have no idea.
And he tiptoes up to Sienna and blows the horn. And after Sienna leaves, Art walks over and closes the store. We know what's about to happen. Poor Ricky, the cashier, is going to have to die.
Yep.
Art buys the horn for $8.99. He's looking for money, pulls out a hammer, a chain, keys.
A nickel, a penny, a couple quarters.
And then Ricky was just like, if you can't pay for it, you got to go. And he just keeps pulling more shit out. He's sitting there like counting pennies. He's like, he's individually picking them up. And then Ricky's had enough and says, "Get the fuck out of here before I fuck you up." And that was his final words. Because Art used a beer bottle to smack him upside the head and then stabbed him in the eye with the beer bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And then a hatchet to the head, full decapitation. And then when the family comes, or the mother comes by later with the kid, and Art's just standing there with the dude's head.
Yeah. Like the mother and the son are looking in the window of the costume shop at like the mannequins and like the animatronics, and Art's standing there posed with the severed head, like he's an animatronic. They're actually pointing at him, like, "That's so cool looking." They have no idea that it's real. That's all, dude. That actually would be awesome. Like Spirit Halloween or somebody should do that. Like make that like something.
Just really murder somebody?
No, just make Art holding a head as like a life size thing. I would get it. I would get it.
I get it. Jonathan shows Sienna their dad's sketchbook, which she was not happy about because apparently they had been looking for it.
Yeah.
It has drawings, including a drawing of Art in there, and he told Sienna he saw Art.
All this right now up to this point is not making any sense, by the way. Let's just say right now, everything's kind of, it's building and leading towards something, but you're just kind of getting little bits and pieces of it.
And like, I know you feel sympathy, but their mother is the worst. She said right to her son, your sister was right. I should have listened to her when she told me you were crazy.
Yeah.
That's basically what
she's a bitch. I didn't say it. I feel for her though.
But Sienna's headed out to, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Sienna. It was her friend was handing out some Halloween candy.
Yeah.
Allie. Was handing out Halloween candy, and guess who's trick-or-treating? It's Art. And once again, David shines here because she just asks him questions, and he just, like, mimes along. And he's very insistent that he gets candy.
Yeah. He's kind of like Sam from Trick or Treat. He's like, You better play along to the fucking rules of Halloween else.
But I'm still going to fuck with you.
Yeah.
and then the little girl's just chilling. Instead of a creepy white van abducting people, they got a black van.
Yep, a creepy black van. And let me just say that when the little girl is like in the dark and her eyes are just like glowing yellow, she's fucking creepy as shit looking. Like I thought that a few times. I'm like, like Art at first was scary when you first see him, but now it's kind of become like this icon, just like Freddy, where not really scary to look at anymore. You're kind of like accepting it. But this little girl is like a miniature, like a little a little girl evil version, even more evil version of Art, and you see her little yellow eyes glowing in the shadow. She's in the van in the shadows. You can see her little silhouette with her pigtail, but you can't see anything but her silhouette, and you just see these two glowing yellow eyes, and it's just creepy as shit.
And the little touch I like is she also has the hat like Art, but there's a hole in the top, and that's where her hair comes up.
Yeah, the pigtail, the one pigtail, yeah.
And so Allie goes down and sees a busted glass door frame. Art just walking around. He gets himself some water. She's just chilling in the front room, just doing nothing, just staring. And then that shit was gruesome as fuck. That was the first one. Oh, yeah. And then just when you think it's over, it goes to another level. I'm not going to lie. When he came back and, had all the extra stuff, I literally out loud by myself watching it. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, two things, okay? This scene to me was absolutely, like, excessive. And I mean, like, in recent comparison, I can't name you another, in recent memory, I mean, I can't name you another slasher film that even comes close to this. Like seriously, we love all the indie movies, the Hollywood movies, the Hatchet movies. Hatchets can be gory as hell, man, but I'm telling you right now, like, this scene right here, this shit takes things to a new level. Like, you have not, if you've ever seen anything like this before, it's not been for a long fucking time. This scene goes on and on and on to the point where I was actually getting a little antsy watching it, like, because it just, there is so much brutality, and it is just different forms of it. I legitimately during this scene was like, I'm getting a little antsy. I'm kind of, I just kind of hope this is over with now. Like, it was so brutal that it made me uncomfortable. Whereas in the first film, when he's doing the taint saw, you're kind of like, oh shit, this movie's going that far. In this one, they do that, and then it just keeps going. You're okay, like, we get the point, and it's like, holy shit, it just doesn't stop, and it's nauseating, but like, you can't look away because it's all practical, and it's just so like art just draws you to it. You're just drawn to him.
And that's just the first half of
it. but the thing that I was gonna say, the thing that made me laugh though, was after doing these heinous acts, okay, the way that they're heinous, and then the way that he just fucking jumps off the bed like a little kid and then just skips out the room like a little kid, just made me laugh. And that's what I'm saying. I was legitimately like antsy for the scene to end, and then when you just see him hop off the bed and skip out of the room, I legit laughed out loud. I'm like, he just cut that tension with that, the humor.
Yeah, and then Sienna ends up going out for the night, and then we cut back to Allie with Art, and after the second time, it's still not over.
That's what I'm saying. It goes on and on and on,
and Art is just having the time of his life there.
Yeah, I think the second part of it, when Mom comes home, I think that might be the worst part. Like,
that's like the third part, right?
Yeah,
third, fourth. Yeah, I think it's the third, because she comes back home, and then she gets it too. Mm-hmm. Then some kids come trick or treating. Art's got a candy bowl made out their head.
Yeah, he's got the
and he gave kids some candy, and like everybody's like talking about, man, that candy bowl's so cool.
Well,
like,
the kids were apprehensive about it at first, like they knew something was off about it. Then he kind of gave them like a gesture, like a friendly, like, go ahead, help yourself. And then the parents kind of were like, no, it's okay. And yeah, like it looked real as shit though. I wouldn't have done it. It was
Art has some rules. You only take one piece. That shit had me dying when he like.
Yep.
He just like held up the one finger at the kid.
Yep. Just the one. But he gave out the beet candy. It was like the Tootsie Rolls and stuff. It didn't look like there was you can't be giving people one candy limit when it's the cheap stuff, Art. But it wasn't his candy technically. It was the Anyway.
I mean, the homeowners aren't giving it out. So
but no, the head bowl is awesome. The head bowl is fucking awesome. Like, that should be something that somebody makes. That was just, it's a really cool touch.
And meanwhile, back with Jonathan, he's having a shitty ass Halloween because his mom didn't believe him. She rips up their dad's sketchbook. Jonathan calls her a bitch, and I mean, kid ain't wrong.
Dude, she smacks the dog shit out of him. It's like she had like her hand cupped when she smacked him. Like the noise it made. It's not your typical like Hollywood movie slap. Like it sounds like she fucking belts him. I thought, damn, she smacked the shit out of him.
And I mean, but the kid ain't wrong. Jonathan runs away, and I mean, like, at this point, I'm almost rooted for Art to kill her at this point.
Oh, no, I wasn't rooting for Art to kill her, but I was like, damn, she clapped his ass.
Clapped him. So her car is TP'd in shaving cream with bitch written in the windshield. And meanwhile, Sienna's being slipped Molly by her friend, and she's fucked up at the bar. And Jonathan runs into the black van who honks the horn at him. So that's I feel like that's kind of a good point to bring us for like the not spoiler section kind of. It's where things start to really pick up, I feel like, from here.
Yeah, if we're going to go more into detail about things we've already said more, then that would be a good time.
Yeah, but so one of the non-spoilers here, and we'll give our thoughts on the movie as a whole, but I loved it. I like I said, I didn't believe. I don't want to say I don't want to that I didn't believe our guests. I just didn't think it would be this possible to really be this nonstop.
Yeah, like, no filler. No 2 hours and 18 minutes of no filler.
Like, as soon as you see somebody walk somewhere, you're like, okay, we're going to have a slow scene. This is just moving a character. As soon as they get to that location, shit happens. It's like,
Yep. It's always further in the plot, too. It's you're either seeing our antagonist or our protagonist, what they're doing, all building towards their what's the word? Not their conflict, their confrontation. There we go. So no filler. Everything furthers the plot. You don't just randomly get like a shot of like two side characters like smoking a joint for the sake of it. Like no, it's like it's 2 hours and 18 minutes, but it's packed to the point. Like the pace as well. The pace is good.
It's like in comparison to the new Halloween movies, where both of those movies have had time that you're just like, okay, I'm not really interested in necessarily being here right now. Or this is going too long. Not Terrifier 2.
No, agreed.
This, the kills are great. Fuzz on the Lens did a great job again. Damien did a great job. Like, I don't really know what there's to complain about. This is, what, a 2 hour and 20 minute slasher movie?
2 hour 18, yes.
Yeah, so it's almost 2 hours, 20 minutes. You can't really make a good 2 hour slasher, I feel like, in most cases, and this is amazing for just any slasher movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't really think of any complaints with it. David, like, as much as expression as he had in Terrifier 1, like, he had even more chances to shine in this one. He's doing such this vile shit, but just the expressions he gives, and, like, you almost kind of want to laugh, like, at his reaction to, like, murdering people or throwing like fucking acid on them and shit.
I know, like the way he just baits people in. So what would you rate it?
Like an 8.5.
Nice, very nice. Yeah.
I've only seen it once. I wanted to go 9, but like I've told you before, like once I go 9, I feel like there's.
Yeah.
I can't rewatch it and grade it higher, but it'll probably be a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel you. My thing is that it's not a complaint. I'm not complaining at all, but it's just that with the way that everything concludes, as like with the way that the final showdown, the way everything goes down, there's a lot still to be answered. We still don't really know like the chemistry and why with the dad's sketchbook and like really why how everything like that worked out, and we also don't really know. Like, there's still a lot about art that's left to be desired. That's how you can tell that art's meant to be around for a while. Damien said he would do a lot of sequels, and you can tell, like, he is slowly...
Maybe that's why it's... Maybe didn't bother me as much, because I know that there's plans to do more.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm saying it didn't really bother me. It's just, you just know that the one thing about it that is that it just literally, it's not a bad thing, but it leaves you wanting more. Because you're still like, I wanted to know more about art. There's still so much to know about him. There's still so much to know about him and, you know, the antagonist's chemistry and what makes her his, his arch enemy or well, it's not arch enemy.
Arch nemesis.
Arch nemesis, I guess. But yeah.
I mean, arch enemies.
Yeah, but there's still a lot to be answered. It's not a bad thing, but that's the thing. The movie, it's like every time an episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead was over, the one complaint was that the people were like, "Damn, I wish it was longer. Damn, I wanted more." And it's like, yeah, here's a 2 hour and 18-minute movie that actually doesn't outlive its run date, and not only that, but it doesn't outlive its runtime, but you're also left with the whole, like, I want more. Like, you just watched a 2 hour and 18-minute movie and you still want more to be explained. You're ready to go more. So it was done well. Like, everything. I haven't seen a 2 hour and 18-minute horror movie a slasher movie at that, pulled off like that before. The kills were great, like you said, mostly practical. Oh my God, like the practical effects were insane. The music was good. There was definitely some John Carpenter, there was in the first one as well, but the undertone, the synthesizer. I really liked the subtle use of CGI. I've noticed more like Damien's use of CGI since our interviews in our first season of this podcast, because like I didn't know that the pumpkin on the counter in the first one was CGI until the interview that we had. So like I did, so I've been keeping an eye out for that, and it's not bad CGI, but it's cool to see the subtlety of it being used and not overused, in comparison to the practical effects. But when they go to, the Terrifier, ride, I guess you'd say, that's part of this. We'll get into it later in the spoiler section, but there's a Grim Reaper on the outside that has like the Terrifier logo on its scythe, and the Terrifier logo that lights up is actually CGI, and you could tell, but it looked cool. That's what it looked good. I had to actually focus, like, because I have an eye for it now because I've been looking for this stuff. But it's I loved it. I fucking loved it. I could see both perspectives. I could see how somebody would say, I just wanted more of what the first one was. I just wanted 80 minutes or 90 minutes of just no plot and Art the Clown just like ripping people the fuck apart and being disgusting and vile, and just that gritty grindhouse exploitation feel of just like the nonsenseness of it all. Just him just like Halloween, how he just picks up and just starts terrorizing people for no reason. I could see how people would prefer that or like that more than this one, because this one isn't just a straight slasher. It goes way beyond that. It has more of a plot. It starts to dig into some sort of mythology. But everything that it did in the first one is upped. The kills, I think the character interaction was really well done in this one. I think I'm going to go with you on that. I think I'm going to go 8.5, leaning towards a 9.
And I want to say, I feel like this second film, like, Art's already known, but I feel like after this one, it's really gonna like cement him as like a serious horror icon.
I thought the same thing.
I feel like, I mean, the first one was good enough that we got a second. I feel like now after this one, the franchise is a go.
I think he's cemented. It's done. Like everybody knows who fucking Art the Clown is now.
Once it comes out and people see it.
Agreed. All right. Well, real quick though, before we go into our spoilers, let's we won't go into spoilers about our kills, but I do want to ask you, what was your favorite kill in the film?
It's got to be the alley. Like, that shit was just so brutal.
It's got to be that. Okay, I would agree, because like that's what I literally.
When I think of Terrifier 2, that's what I'm going to think of.
I think of the aftermath when the mom walks into the room. That's what I see, and that I just literally held my head and went, Jesus Christ, when I saw that. But mine, I'm not going to see. I said I wouldn't give you spoilers, so I'm not going to give spoilers. When you listeners watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. Besides the kill that we just talked about, the alley kill, I'm going to go with the 10 stabs and a ripoff.
Ugh.
I counted. I was like, I think it was 10 stabs. Okay. I believe it might have been give or take 1 or 2, but 10 stabs and a ripoff. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so we'll get into spoilers. So if you don't want to listen, go spray your toes with some Tinactin or something. Get on up out of here.
Get the facts. Get boom. Tough actin, Tinactin.
All right, getting back into it. Jonathan walks back towards the van. For what reason, I don't fucking know. And at first he sees nothing, and then he sees the girl chilling in the passenger seat. That's what you're talking about. There's like yellow eyes.
Yeah, creeping, looking at him, man. Yeah. Like, curiosity killed the cat, Jonathan.
Yeah. Sienna has a ton of missed calls from her mom. She's snapping and then realizes Sienna's drunk. Eventually, though, the conversation does get to a point where they both say that they love each other. It seems like for once they're not like angry at each other.
Yeah.
And what I did not see...
in their anger towards Jonathan.
Yeah. And what I did not see coming was Art was in the car the entire time. I did not see that coming.
No, and then the Maniac homage that comes after. It's like an inverted Maniac. He's inside the car as opposed to outside the car.
And he blasts the mom's face and she exploded.
It's a fucking sawed off to the face.
It's like a super sawed off.
Dude, and just like the excessiveness of like, you see her face get fucking blown off like a pumpkin explode.
Yeah.
And then like the fucking camera actually just pans over to the garage wall and you just see like a huge chunk of her face just clap the wall and then fall. It's just like, did we really need that shot of her head hitting the wall?
Yes.
Like we just saw it getting blown off. But yes, we did need it.
And Sienna sees a little girl up in the club.
Up in the club.
Jonathan comes running home to see his faceless mom at the table. Art comes out with mashed taters and wine. And he stuffs her fucking face hole with mashed potatoes.
He's Scary Movie Tuesday the shit out of those mashed potatoes with his hands.
He used his strong hand. And Jonathan didn't see the little girl by him. I mean, we didn't either.
Right.
So he gets spooked and he runs up the door to Sienna's room. Art knocks down the door, but Jonathan sees the sword, that like Valkyrie sword that she wasn't using for her outfit, because she is right. She probably would have got arrested carrying that thing around.
Yeah, especially on Molly and drunk.
Rolling on the Molly. He tried to crawl, but Art gets to him and gets ready to put that huge ass syringe in him, but then he sees the Valkyrie sword. Sienna gets a call from Jonathan. He says he needs help, but we see Jonathan's passed out in the black van and the little girl's mimicking the voice, and once again Art just super entertained, just laughing the entire time. So they end up setting a trap for him basically at the carnival grounds. And Sienna goes in. Her friends just chill in the car. And we get more of the backstory on her dad. I'm terrible with names. So if I fuck this up, it's going to be the rest of the second half here. But Victoria, I believe, was her friend.
I'm terrible with names too, man. Yeah, we'll go with that. I hope
Yeah,
that we're
we'll
not
go
wrong.
with that. She tells Jeff, oddly enough, I know his name, and he's less in the movie, that Sienna's dad had a brain tumor and they said he was being crazy and he got abusive and then basically committed suicide by driving into a transformer.
Yeah.
Some rough shit. So we cut back to Jonathan. He wakes up with the little girl cutting up her face. We go back to Jeff and Victoria again, and they're basically dry fucking in that SUV, whatever.
Yep.
And then
Dry fucking.
And then they do a couple bumps, and Jeff goes out for a piss. Victoria sees just the tip written in the foggy window, and then bam, straight stab to the dick from Art.
Yep, and that's the 10 stabs and a rip-off that I was talking about.
He rubs the dick on the window. Like.
So this guy's taking a piss and gets his dick stabbed at least 10 times. I'm sorry, at least 10 times, and then pulled off. And then, like John said, and then it gets rubbed on the window. Art just literally is showing you that he has no lows that he won't stoop to. He will cut your dick off while you're pissing, and he will hold it in his hand and rub it on a window.
And show your lady friend.
Art legit is like the one person I will say gives no fucks, because Jason, Michael, or Freddy would not be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, Art just don't care.
And then he punches through the glass and just yeets Victoria out of the car. She does hit him with an up kick, though. Then she tries to run, but, them boots and that messed up leg hurting her. So she ditches the boots. Meanwhile, Sienna's still looking for Jonathan. She can't seem to find him, though. Sienna can hear Victoria calling for her as she's running from Art. And she retreats to the bathroom. And this bathroom makes Saul's bathroom look clean.
Oh, God, it's terrible. It's like just blood and shit everywhere. I
Literally
thought it was just
everywhere.
shit, and then I realized it was blood. I was like, oh, God, it's both. Yeah, it's literally painted like ceiling. It looks like Annabelle when she drew all over the walls and ceiling with the crayon, but it looked like someone did it with a turd.
Art corners her, and she grabs a piece of wood. She begs Art to stay back, so instead of using the wood with the nail in it, instead he just throws acid on her face and laughs.
He has the acid like tucked behind his back,
just
daring her. Yep, come here, come forward.
And he hits her, and then he hits her with the nail board. He takes out her heart and bites into it.
Her heart?
Her heart?
He takes out her heart? Yeah, we actually see him rip out a human heart and just eat it.
It was still beating. It was fresh.
Yeah. All practical again.
And Sienna so it was a real heart. Anyway, Sienna shows up and finds Victoria mutilated. Art's just chilling in the corner. So Art and Sienna come face to face, and Sienna sees Jonathan show up kind of like before Art. So we got the siblings back together to face off against Art. Sienna grabs that piece of wood. It didn't before look like it had a nail in it, but had one up at the top.
It did, yeah. But I do want to say real quick that they fucked each other up.
Yeah.
Like, they fucked each other up. Like, they were duking.
But she ends up stabbing Art in the back with it. And Art counters and really puts a beating on Sienna. She's out cold. Art begins to search for Jonathan, and they kind of play a game of cat and mouse with Jonathan. And it's funny because I'm like, how did he not see him when he looked over? And then you realize he did.
He just don't care.
Because then, he walks away. Because Jonathan ends up going into a crate that has like a blanket over it. And he's kind of peeking, and Art turns and looks right at him. And then pretends like he doesn't see him, walks away. So then when Jonathan comes running around the corner, Art's just standing right there.
Yeah, man.
And he runs right into him, and he starts carving him up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Sienna rescues her brother by taking that nail board and just hitting him in the dome. And
yeah, right in the back. And that's the one blow where we see Art at that point. We see him getting stabbed in the leg. We see him get hit in the back with the piece of what I guess we call it kind of like a makeshift mace. I don't know if that's what but yeah, we see him get hit in the back with that. But when he gets hit in the back of the head, when she actually claps him in the back of the, I keep using clap, that's my word today, clap. She claps him in the back of the head with it, and you actually see his eyes kind of like bug out for a second, and he kind of like, he's trying to as he's going to reach back to get it, his hands are kind of fumbling, and you realize, oh shit, like that's the first time that we've actually seen him like startled from something.
You know what it made me think of?
The first time he's actually like emoted to somebody hitting him or something. Like he felt that one.
Made me think of Terminator, like Arnold, like when his chip would get fucked up a little bit, how he kind of like twitch.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
and he was kind of like his hand kept like shaking when he was trying to
lost coherence with his body or something. Yeah.
And Jonathan ends up telling Sienna, according to their dad, she's the only one who can stop Art. But he also says that they want her and that he was a trap to get her there. And so they decide to make an escape. Art was hiding with Jonathan while Sienna was walking around. He starts beating him with a whip. Like it was like I guess it's like a metal.
It's like what you had in the first one. It's like I had like scissors on the end of it on one, like a needle on the other.
Yeah, like a cat of nine tails.
Yeah.
And he just starts beating him with it. And Sienna lays on top to protect her brother, and eventually she just grabs it and then she starts beating the fuck out of him.
It reminded me when Stone Cold was whooping the shit out of Matt Hardy with the steel chair, and then Lita laid across him, thinking he'd stop, and then he whooped her ass with the steel chair while she laid across him. There you go. That's my wrestling reference. You're always one that throws the wrestling references.
Think I had one this time.
Boom, gotcha.
Damn. She grabs a post from one of the displays and stabs him through the top of the head.
Yeah, metal post, like she Pennywises his ass.
And but Art comes back from that because he isn't Pennywise.
At this point, with everything that she's hitting him with, literally, the fatal blows. It's obvious now. We're seeing now, and literally like back-to-back sequences that like we're learning now. Okay, Art really is unstoppable. Like he's getting hit with death blows. He gets stabbed through the fucking head. Right back. A scene later. So we're like, so now we're starting to understand exactly how untouchable he is. Like you can't really touch him.
And he starts choking Sienna, and Jonathan jumps on top, and he grabs that like super sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah.
And
then he had like electrical taped around his ankle.
And then like Art just kind of like holds his hands up in like a faux surrender and just like shakes them like ooh.
Yeah.
And then he eventually gets blasted. We see he goes flying too.
He does. He takes a shot. I think it's like right to like the right side of the rib cage. But fucking sends his ass flying like Sally from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning.
Sienna passes out and Jonathan tries to wake her up. Then Sienna sees her mom, only that ain't her mom. It's the little girl pretending to be her mom. Sienna comes to and finds Art standing over her unconscious brother. She starts punching Art like she didn't even care. She just went up and just started swinging.
Yeah, right.
Just looking like the boxer dude from like, you know what I'm talking about. Jason Takes Manhattan. Just Jason's moving, but you're not doing anything to him. He's just like he's getting punched, but he's just like whatever.
Yeah, them pillow hands.
Oh, so many fighters I could make fun of for that, but I won't. Anyway, so she starts punching Art. He just puts her in a chokehold. And Sienna gets tossed through some boards into a basement. He kind of just like choke slams her.
Oh, but the thing is, while he's choking her, she spits in his face, and she spits like blood in his face. And then when he pushes her through the floorboards, like you said, that was one of the moments where he just kind of like crouches down and looks at her body laying there beneath the floorboards, and it just hawks a loogie on her face. And you're just like, oh, like he got you back.
She's got like so many concussions by now, right?
Concussions, bro. If this were if this were in wrestling, we're gonna go back to wrestling. Jim Ross would have been said 100 times by now. Somebody stop the damn match!
Yeah, they probably shit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so she gets tossed through some boards into the basement. Art stabs her with the Valkyrie sword and tosses her into that pit in the basement. And it looked like he had tossed the sword also, but
it's no, he throws it on the ground, but it wasn't. But that blow that he gives her when he stabs her, it's like not only does she fall through the floorboards and get fucked up, but when she finally comes to, she turns around and there he is, and boom, yeah, he stabs her with the sword. And I mean, it is a fatal blow. It's not. It's one of those. It's not one of those ones in movies where she'll come back
like
from that
right
at the
below
flesh
the
wound.
sternum.
Like he gets that thing goes through her. Like he fucking stabs her straight with that. That's a death blow. You know, right then and there, he got her, and she fell to her knees. And when he walked away, I legit thought, I'm like, damn, that's how it goes. Like that's it. Like because like you're just like, there's no coming back from that. But
I thought she just got thrown down to like another lower level, but it was like a water tank.
yeah, right.
And she had like an octopus holding her leg.
Yeah, it was like a dream. Like it was like the afterlife. Like she like, went to like her version of hell was the nightmare. She was gonna witness. She was witnessing like the aftermath of the nightmare she had. I think
And
some sort of octopus. Like I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was like it was pulling her down.
and now she's back on the was the show. I guess it was the show from earlier.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it now. Too much weeds
Yeah,
in
we've
me.
been smoking a lot.
I can remember the cereal ones though, but here we are. So Art finally wakes Jonathan up. He's like snapping his fingers. He's looking like a parent trying to wake their kid up for school. It's like snapping fingers, smacking him, just like clapping in his face.
Clap. There's that word. It came back.
So then the reason he wakes up is he's chewing on his hand.
Yeah, he starts fucking eating him.
Yeah.
Howard starts fucking eating Jonathan. Jonathan wakes up to his wrists being eaten into.
Then we see the sword was just kind of on the ground there, and it starts to like, I guess, activate. Turn on, and it like heals Sienna, and she just took that tentacle and straight fucking ripped that shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the sword starts to activate. It brings back Sienna, who
Starts
uses
playing some like 80s synthesizer metal music, like charging up the scene.
Glow.
Yeah, like Godzilla's dorsal fins.
Jesus. So then she can fight back. She fucks Art up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And he just gives up his neck and just like, go ahead and decapitate me.
Yeah, she comes back with a vengeance. It's like it's like that H2O scene in Halloween H2O when Jamie Lee Curtis has her run with Michael in the hallway and like she just unleashes on his ass. It's like that. Yeah.
Where Psycho Gorman gets the meat sword.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And then you think it's over, but there's still the little girl. She just picks up Art's head, acts like it's talking to him, and she just carries it away.
Yep.
I wouldn't be cool with her still living. Like,
no, me neither. I'd
they
still
just
feel
let
like
her walk away.
I still feel like she's gonna fuck with me. Like she knows who I am. She'll be back. You know, I need to end this little bitch's life. This little supernatural. But they said something earlier in the film. Let's see, we only watched it the one time. So it's like something that like every movie you pick up on more the more times you watch it. But I believe in the beginning of the film they had talked about a mutilated little girl. From that, there. And so I'm pretty sure that's who this little clown girl was.
I forgot I don't think I actually mentioned that, but there was a report.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I think
that.
that's who it was. I think that she was that mutilated little girl. I think Art maybe mutilated her and is haunted by her. I don't know. Again,
because then she's also doing shit too.
It's almost as if she is like influencing him, controlling him. Like he's who fought. Like she's who like inspires him or who control. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot left to still be discovered.
And then there was the post credit scene.
Yeah, stick around for. It's more like mid credits, but stick around. Because it's not over.
It's a long scene.
It is a long scene, and we get to see.
Was that maybe one of the Indie-Go-Go's?
I don't know. It might have been, but I do know that we get. Here's another wrestling reference. We get to see
the Ayatollah Rock and Roller, Chris
fucking Jericho.
And it's funny because in the beginning when you watch it, he's listed. It's like and Chris Jericho. And I forgot by the time the movie was over that he was supposed to be in it.
Yep.
And then once the credit scene started, I went, "Oh shit, yeah, Chris Jericho. He was in the credits."
Dude, Chris Jericho is a fucking Terrifier fan. How fucking awesome is that?
And I feel like the post credit scene, it reminded me of had a field memorial from Halloween 2.
Yep, exactly.
And I can't remember where I wanted to mention this. There was a scene, like, obviously the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff with, like, the dream stuff, but there was a scene, it was very Freddy-esque, that was almost like in a boiler room where he just kind of walks around.
Yeah.
But, you definitely check out the post-credit scene. There's all kinds of shit.
Yeah, basically, long story short, Art's back. I don't know where we're
As a
going
head?
from there. I had made the joke to my wife. I said that, hey, Sam, I was like, you think they're going to go Deadpool with it? Is he going to grow a body, like, with his head? You know, you never know. But I will say that, without trying to deliberately be gross, this is going to be gross, the post-credit sequence is by far, undeniably, unquestionably, like, I have nothing to even compare it to, the most vaginal blood I have ever seen in a film.
Yeah. I can't think of one even close, though.
It's bad. It's like bad. Like, it is like blood pouring, dripping, like, holy shit. Like,
Blood pouring, dripping.
yeah, but I will say that the thing that makes Terrifier different, and this isn't a criticism, it's more of like, it's what is appealing about it. It's that movies that are this extreme, like, say, like, the kills in this movie, had they been done like August Underground style, could have easily been unappealing and like horrible, and they still are to some people. I'm sure that if I showed the Allie's death scene to like my father-in-law, that he probably wouldn't even finish the scene. He would just be like, I'm done. But my thing is that, like, the fact that they're done in such a way, in such an over-the-top way, and almost in like a humorous way, with Art being kind of funny, that it just, like, it makes them tolerable. It doesn't make it so it's just like this extreme, like, it's not like Hostel, where it's just like this brutality and just like no, like, just unrelenting. Like, there's still something to laugh at. The fact that the gore is so over the top keeps you it reminds you, okay, it's just a movie. You know, it's like it's brilliant. I love it, man. It was a good movie, and hopefully, you know, we'll see it again fucking soon.
Yeah. I mean, good job to Fuzz. Good job to Damien. Good job to David. Who else am I forgetting? Craig. He played a bunch of roles in the nightclub.
His skeleton was in the party. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot about the skeleton from the interview.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, we enjoyed it. It lived up to the hype you guys sold us on.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like I meant to say this earlier. Terrifier's like the John Wick of the horror community. Like, it's about the kills.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still story to it. It's not.
But you go for the effects and the kills, and
yeah.
How can they up it? Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, Damien wants to do a bunch. I mean, Keanu Reeves wants to do a bunch of John Wicks. Like, I'm here for both of them.
I will just say, though, I welcome, as long as they keep up being good, and who cares even if they're not. How many Jasons or Freddys or Pinhead movies suck, but we'll still watch them, even just for the kills, because we love the characters, and we love Art at this point, like we said about him being cemented as an icon. I love him enough at this point that I would take a terrible Terrifier movie just to see Art doing some brutal kills. It's like, keep him around. We need a new Halloween series, not because Halloween's ending with Halloween Ends, but just besides Halloween, we need a new ongoing series, slasher series, horror series that takes place on Halloween. Let that be Terrifier. Let there one day we can say, hey, let's do Terrifier 1 through 12 this Halloween. Let's do it. That's fucking
1 through
awesome.
12. Damn, I'm in.
Right?
I mean, David's soon enough, he can start charging Robert Englund prices. Yeah, I feel like anybody that likes the first one's going to like the second one, which it's funny because I'm going to tell Nicole tomorrow about. She barely could tolerate the first one, that I'm just going to be like, nope, there's no point in you watch. You're not going to want to watch this.
This is too much. Yeah,
this is too much. But yeah, I definitely can't wait to see it again. So make sure to check it out however you can.
Yeah, absolutely. However you can, legally.
Yeah, that is a very important statement.
And yeah, I mean, just thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in. You, as always, follow us on social media at High on Horror 420 at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. get our latest guest announcements, and we'll keep you up to date on the next episode. Check out our website, highonhorror.com. Same thing, you can go there, but you can sign up for our newsletter, and then you can get new episodes, guest announcements sent directly to your email. And you can always send us some questions, because we'll be having some interviews coming up at highonhorror420@gmail.com for Puff Puff Ask Questions. And I guess that'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.